Hello and welcome to today's video, which is in our series about reading and understanding. So what's going to happen is that firstly there's a story, which in this case is called No Epo's Restaurant, and then at the end there's various questions which look at whether you've understood the story and testing various points to do with the story. So here we go. No Epo's Restaurant. No Epo owned a restaurant on the edge of town. It was a beautiful spot, and the people in the town liked to come there after work and eat while they watched the sun go down. She had started the restaurant 10 years before, when she just sold a few ice creams. Step by step, she had made it bigger and bigger until now it sold a lot of different kinds of food. A lot of her customers had been there many times. One Saturday, a farmer offered to sell her some chickens, and she decided to make a big pot of chicken curry. The restaurant was busy that night, and lots of people ate curry and other things. On Monday, Noepo was surprised when the restaurant was very quiet. Then one of her friends phoned her to ask if she'd seen all the online messages about her restaurant. Her friend told her that someone had been very sick after eating there on Saturday night and had been on Twitter telling everyone it was the restaurant's fault. No one knew who the person was who had posted the message, but it had been reposted many times, and now everyone knew about it. That explained why the restaurant was empty. Noepo didn't know what to do. Her first feeling was that it couldn't be true. She had eaten some of the chicken curry herself, and her stomach had been fine. But the Twitter message didn't give much detail. Maybe the person had eaten something else. How could she test everything? She had 3 people who worked in the restaurant, and she asked them if they would be willing to test 3 different things each. They didn't like the idea very much, because they knew if they got the one that was causing the sickness, they would be sick too. But they also knew that if nobody came to the restaurant, they wouldn't have a job much longer. So in the end, they agreed. Noepo went back through her records of all the meals that had been sold on Saturday and chose the top 12, not including the chicken curry, that had been sold. Then she and the 3 employees each tried 3 of them. There were only 15 on the list, and the last 3 had only been eaten by one person each. That night, they couldn't stop thinking about their stomachs. Did they feel a bit strange? Sometimes you can convince yourself there's a problem, even when it's not true. Nobody got sick, and the next night, Noepo tried the last 3 herself. She didn't get sick. Now she was sure that the problem was not her food. That was good news. But it didn't solve her problem. Everyone still thought it was her fault, and no one was coming to the restaurant. What could she do? Then she made a plan. She bought some more chickens from the same farmer and made the same chicken curry again. Then she invited a lot of poor and homeless people to eat at her restaurant. She took videos of them eating and sent them to the local TV station and posted them online. Once again, nobody became sick. The next Saturday, heaps of customers came to her restaurant and things were back to normal. They all told her that they never believed her food had made anyone sick. They had just been busy the previous weekend. Naughty Po wasn't sure if she believed them all. 6 months later, a policeman came to the restaurant. He told Naughty Po that they had found out that the Twitter message had been posted by someone who owned a different restaurant in town because he was jealous about how many customers Naughty Po was getting. Okay, question. How do you think the farmer who sold Naughty Po the chickens felt? So you're going to need a bit of time for that one, so I suggest you pause the video because I'm going to go on and tell you my suggested answer straight away. Here we go. So I think first up, he would be worried in case his chickens had made someone sick. And then when he found that that wasn't the case, then he'd be happy that Naughty Po didn't think it was true. Then he'd be happy that she bought some more chickens, and happy again when everything went back to normal. What did her workers feel about trying some of the meals each? And I'm going to go on to the answer with that one. They didn't like the idea very much because they knew if they got the one that was causing the sickness, they would be sick too. But they also knew that if nobody came to the restaurant, they wouldn't have a job much longer. Okay, next one. How did Naughty Po find out the truth? And another question, what was the motive of the person who posted the Twitter message? So I'm going on to the answers for those two. She found out the truth because 6 months later, a policeman came to the restaurant. And the motive of the person who posted the Twitter message, he was jealous about how many customers Naughty Po was getting. So find things in the story that show that Naughty Po was a good business person. Okay, I'm going to go on with the answers for that one. She built up her business from small beginnings to a success. Many of her customers returned many times. When she had a problem, she made a plan to fix it. And this is the end, my friend. See you next time.